All right, in this episode at the ABCA, we talk about why we use med balls
and why do gimmicks keep selling in baseball.
All right, Brent Porcio, David Ardsmere at the @Top Velocity #Pitch Tip Show. We're at the ABCA last day.
Wrapping up here things.
We hadn't had the DA on because he runs on us at the end. He's got a place to go, people to see. But no, David.
You've been doing shows without me?
Yeah, we've done 2 episodes. So tell us what's your take from the whole ABCA?
It's been great, great talking to coaches, great to see what everything else going on. Some other ideas that are absolutely crazy. Some ideas that are great. No, it's been really cool. It's been cool to see everything and all the different ideas out there. And we'll talk to a lot of coaches, ton of coaches that come by, love our stuff, watch the videos. Probably that's kind of the cool thing. A lot of coaches that are watching this show, and it's neat to hear them and hear that they're picking up things that you're doing and putting it into their systems, and they're trying to see how to put more in, how to do that, and it's really cool to hear that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's also having David here with his player perspective into it, and you know, this guy's 240 right now. He's gained 30 pounds as we focus on Steven, or on the nutritional approach. So it's been cool having David here, Steven here, everybody here working with Rich, King of the Hill.
What's cool too is seeing guys like other ex-ball players, and we talk to them about our system and what we're doing, and they're like, dude, they totally get it. That's what I did when I was playing. So that's pretty neat that you're trying to teach that.
Yeah, and don't get run over, Caleb. All right, so cool. We got a question, our 2 guys questions today, so here we go. All right, we got Cass Kreitlow. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
Because I've had him on the show before. You've seen his questions out there. You know, great supporter of our approach, but other approaches too. But he's got a good question for us. What you got? Or is it just for
No, so yesterday we were talking, and I was asking him like timing questions, whether I teach the movement or the timing, blah blah. And you just came back at me and we're talking about how, am I doing it with a baseball or am I doing it with a med ball? So do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you want to? Should I ask my question more specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a hard time teaching kids to drive and then them actually doing it. So
and I made the point that the med ball is a better way to really coach when you're trying to teach the lower half. So that's where we're going?
Exactly.
So basically, if you're a coach and you're trying to get the lower half involved and you're having a hard time, that's why I went to this 2-pound med ball. Grab that 2-pound med ball. I went to this 2-pound med ball because when you put something heavier in, everyone knows weight helps. When you put something heavier in someone's hand, they typically have to get better at what they're doing, or their flaws get worse. You can't get away with the same stuff with a light ball than you can with a heavier ball. But at the same time too, I'm not, now everyone's going, oh, then you're wrong about weighted balls. No, the problem is, I'm not saying, yeah, all I need to do is increase the weight of a weighted ball, which is gonna throw all these massive torques into the shoulder. I wanna increase weight to get more of the body involved, not just the shoulder. So when we do a 2-pound med ball throw, it's with 2 hands, which doesn't allow me to overload and over torque the shoulder. So now I gotta get more involved because this is a harder object to throw than a 5-ounce ball. So saying, for someone who's trying to teach the lower half to a bunch of young kids and you still got that 5-ounce ball in their hand, it's sometimes too challenging for them to get more things involved because it's just so easy to do this. So that's where this comes in. It really forces them to now adapt and get better at the lower half, and it typically works. It's like when we're trying to do cleans with the bar and the guy's like, dude, I understand what you're saying, it's just not happening. And then I throw 135 pounds in there and like, oh, now I understand how I gotta move it, because if I don't do it the way you told me, I can't even move it, right? So
yeah, you get in the drills, you start using that ball, you really feel right out of the gate the difference in the velocity, the difference in your movement. You feel it when you have normal baseball in your hand. it can be deceitful because you can start using your body a little different. The ball comes out still good, and you're like, well, now that looked really good. It felt great.
It felt great,
but you didn't do anything. When you get that ball in your hand, and you have to move almost perfectly each time for it to get that same feeling. You don't move the same way. That ball's gonna come out of your hand like, oh man, you can see it like lob in there.
How many times to me, if you looked at me, you're like, dude, that felt great, and then on the radar gun, I'm like, that wasn't what you thought was great, and you're like, damn it, it's deceiving, right?
Yeah, very deceiving.
And so, I mean, of course, measurements always help, but a lot of times too, you don't even need a measurement. You knew if you threw this crappy.
Yeah.
It tells you very quickly you threw it crappy, as opposed to that baseball, you'd be like, no, it felt pretty good, and then you look at the radar gun, you're like, no, that wasn't good at all.
Opposed to being 5 feet away from a wall. So we always try to make sure we have some space too. So you see the ball, you see the movement, and you see how far the distance is. We don't want to be too close because then you don't really get the idea. We want to make sure we have some space and to where you're hitting the backstop, but it's not easy.
Exactly. Distance helps. What do you think?
Well, so just a couple things. So I've seen my college guys. I coach at college. I coach at a baseball training facility. My college guys looked ridiculous. Sorry guys for that are watching. When they're throwing medicine balls, like it's not connecting. And he makes the comment that he's watched high school players and the coach is like, these guys look brutal, and like, that's kind of the point. The point is that it's hard.
You want to show them, and you want to show them what's going on because they probably weren't noticing. They thought everything was great. They're throwing that base, everything's great, and then you put this in their hand, and they're like, "Holy crap, I'm a mess."
Yeah.
So one thought. So I have another question and a question. I have my guys play catch with mid balls. Is that stupid?
Well, how far away?
Like the distance of a basketball court.
With like a 2-pound ball going through the full delivery, humming it at them?
Yeah.
It's fine if they can catch it.
Distance of a basketball court.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can catch it. We used to catch it.
I'll tell them like.
But is it bouncing to them?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. I'm saying that's nothing wrong with that because you can actually.
And then I gun them.
As long as you're keeping it on a line, then you can start marking, maybe mark spots on the court, like the ball's on a line at this spot. Now,
and
3 weeks later, it's further.
When I just say that as opposed to you saying it, not doing it close.
Right, because I don't like anything less than 45 feet with this because I can get away with more.
The only thing
I didn't know that,
me,
45 feet.
The only thing that worries me about that, it just jumps in my mind is that then guys are starting to create angles and using it to create, like, to get it there. Versus when you're 50 feet away, like I measure mine at home, I'm 50 feet away. I know I'm the same distance every day, so I know when I'm where I'm hitting, and I'm watching the play of the ball that it's the same.
So I should have a line somewhere where they're trying to throw the ball.
Yeah, I just don't want to make sure that guys aren't using angles. I want to make sure that they're trying to throw that thing straight.
Yeah.
And that's why we like the target, where we use the target and we're working to that target.
So if I'm working, against that wall, I know every day when if I short hop it, that ball is there.
Right. And
when I lob it, I see it. I see it hit higher
because it's telling you a biomechanical change is occurring. You know, if I'm bouncing it, I must be pulling off.
If I'm
playing it, I'm not driving through.
I'm not driving through, or I'm releasing it back here. So I know I have a target just like you're 60 feet 6 inches every time. Right. That's why I try to be the same distance every single time. So the same throw every every time, and then I'm trying to go farther, harder, and harder, and harder, and harder within that throw.
Awesome. All right,
Appreciate it.
Next question. All right, cool. Next question here. Why don't you introduce yourself? I didn't do the cast, but introduce yourself so they don't know you. I think they know cast. Tell them who you are.
Andrew Rosario out of New York. Work with the Black Sox, Yeshiva University.
That wasn't loud.
God damn it, Kaylin.
There you go.
But yeah, pitching coach just in the Northeast.
Said it works at the Black Sox and
Black Sox and Yeshiva University.
Yeshiva University.
Awesome. So, what question you got?
My question is in regards to the ABCA, you brought up a good point. This is the only barbell and only weight in this entire convention. And walking around the convention and seeing all of these new tools, why for pitching is there nothing really lower half focused? Everything is like weight on a ball, weighted balls, a string on a ball. Everything is kind of end result hand.
Simple. It's gimmicks. It's gimmicks in baseball style. When you go to other sports, it's way less gimmicky and it's a lot more focused on the true athleticism. Baseball, we're a sport that's built itself on little tricks, little tips, little things. But I think it's also the nature of the baseball. Like a different athlete, you can have just as much as I can have. Your size doesn't necessarily correlate to baseball. It does, we know it does, because the bigger, stronger guys generally rise to the top. But you still always will have the Marcus Strohms, the Altuves, and so those guys always keep selling to everybody else that a gimmick will work. Something small, a little tiny little
it can be effortless to get to the top level, right?
Yeah, and so you see things with like whips, and you see that rope bat and stuff.
Into the chain stuff.
I've seen a lot of different companies. It's all very similar.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all selling the same thing in a different way.
Because it not only takes work to do this legitimately, but it takes work to actually develop a product that does this from the ground up legitimately, So I think a lot of things are just what quick and easy can we put on the end that makes a quick little improvement. It's all the market. It's easier to create and it's easier to sell, so that's where the market goes. And unfortunately, when we sit here and we're like, hey, this is all BS, we're all about developing athletes to build elite pitchers or better athletes to build better pitchers. We're the outsiders, and we're really in education. We're really here to educate people. We're not here to sell to people. Our sales are them wanting to come for more education in the future. So I just think that's going on. I mean, basically our marketing plan is really bad because we don't have something we can sell for $30 and get them a little excited for the next few days. So we're actually trying to do something we feel is right for the industry, and that's to build healthy, elite pitchers. Give every kid the potential to be as good as he wants, because we're going to optimize his ultimate potential. But that's not a great selling point because it's hard. It's hard. At the end of the day, it's hard. It's hard to develop it, and it's hard to do it.
I can't buy something for $30 that I get people from it.
No, you can't buy something for $30, $3.95.
No, you might be able to buy something that might help you throw some more strikes, or it might help you with a little with your control or something, or maybe make you a notch better here and there. And I think though a lot of people sell those things that actually do just that, telling you it's going to revolutionize what you do, when it's actually just a little thing. And so we're selling an entire career, whole body approach, and a lot of people are scared to do that.
I mean, it's not knocking like what everybody's doing. It's just saying, I mean, when you buy this little thing that's a gimmicky thing, I mean, how long does that sit in your bat bag or in your baseball bag? What, for the next 3 months? I mean, is it going to be there 4 years from now? I mean, those gimmicks are rarely going to be in that bag 4 years from now. Yeah. And that's what we're looking to do. We really believe in developing legitimately. We want to build a career. We don't want to just build the next game or that season. We want to build a career.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you so very much.
Pleasure to meet you. All right, we'll finish this up. Well, actually, let's finish it up right now. This at Top Glossy, hashtag pitch tips, hashtag baseball tips, ask your question we answer on the show. Reach out to me, reach out to Andrew, reach out to David, and Bullpen with DA. Cass. Bullpen with DA. He did a podcast a few days ago, and we'll see you in the next episode.
We them boys.